The following podcast is a deep, shallow dive production.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, happy Monday morning to everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. By the way, I should have totally done this on Friday. My bad. But belated happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially my lovely mother. Actually, I should say our lovely mother. My brother and I, we are blessed to have a wonderful mother. You know what's funny? That actually just that actually just reminds me of something. So whenever I talk about my mom or my dad, I always do like to say "our" because, first of all, as you guys know, I love my brother. But then secondly, I don't know, I just feel like it's weird when I talk about my brother, like my mom, my dad, but it's like our mom, our dad. There's two of us. We both share the same mom and dad. But I have a hilarious story. This is actually so funny. There's zero chance they're listening, so I'm not worried about it. But I had a former neighbors, and they were twins, like identical twins. I mean, to this day, I cannot tell the difference between the two of them. This is going to be bad, but they were also Asian. So like, that's so bad. I know, but that's pretty funny. Asian twins, identical Asian twins. I mean, come on. That's like, there's no chance. There's no chance telling the difference between those two. There's just not. Actually, I'm going to share the rest of this because there's zero chance they're probably will ever find out about this. But they were the twins on the show Big Fish, or I'm sorry, the movie Big Fish. If you watch that movie Big Fish, there were two Asian twins on there. They were part of the cast. That was a great movie, by the way, Big Fish. It's actually a great story. Billy Crudup, who's a really good actor. I like that guy. Anyway, it was a story about him and his dad, and they had a very strained relationship because he always thought that his dad exaggerated stories about his life. Like his dad would tell these like crazy, I mean like beyond crazy stories, and it really culminated in the catching of this like giant, enormous fish. And so he always like, I don't know, yeah, he kind of did resent his dad, but he had a very strained relationship with his dad because he thought that, you know, he just was making all of this crazy stuff up. And then he basically like came to the realization that he, I don't remember if he wasn't making them up or he was making them up only to benefit his son, which was Billy Crudup's childhood and all that. Anyway, it's actually a really touching story. I really like it. It really resonates with me in terms of that father-son relationship, even though it's strained. And I'm blessed to have never had a strained relationship with my dad. But our dad, oh man, that's funny. I just caught myself. But anyway, what the heck? I lost my train of thought for a second. Okay, so anyway, this concept of like so these twins, they were so funny, or they probably are still funny. I lost touch with them. But like I would go over their place or like hang out with them or whatever, and they would be like, "Oh my gosh, Ray, did you see I just got a new, let's say, TV?" And I was like, "Oh, cool." And it would be like the TV for their main room. But they would always talk about everything individually. Like, you know, and by the way, they were roommates. They lived together. And so they'd be like, "I'm thinking about remodeling my kitchen." And like the other one's standing right there. And I'm like, you mean like your kitchen? Like the two of your kitchen? I mean, I wouldn't say anything, but they would go on. And every time it would be like, you know, "I'm thinking about adding this to the backyard. Or I'm thinking about doing this to my, I'm thinking about getting myself a new refrigerator," or just everything was so individual. And they would talk like that in front of each other. And then the most bizarre / hilarious / interesting part would be when like they were both there doing that same thing. So it would be like, I'll use the home example because they did renovate their house. But like literally, so like the two of them would be standing there and the one would say, and they're talking to me. So the one would say to me, I'm thinking about putting in, really knocking out this wall, and then I'll put in da da da. And then the other one's like, I've really been giving a lot of thought to, I think, demolishing this, and then I'm gonna build a game room or something. Man, I'm making all these up, but anyway, you get the point. But it was hilarious. Like they just always referred to what they did collectively as them as individuals doing it. And again, in front of the other one. And it wasn't like they took offense. That's pretty funny. There's probably like a deeper meaning in the unity of twins in terms of that. So, oh man, all right, sidetrack. But anyway, happy Mother's Day, happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms on Sunday. Hope you guys had a wonderful one. I actually had my mom and my brother and family over on Saturday. We celebrated Mother's Day on Saturday. And here's another funny little side note. I literally didn't leave my house, but by the end of the night, I had logged 19,000 steps. So that means I walked around my own house 8.78 miles. Isn't that hilarious? I did like almost 9 miles around my house. That's crazy. So anyway, we had a really nice day. It was also the 9th anniversary of the passing of our dad, which, man, that's another one that just, I can't believe. It's like you blink your eyes and 9 years go by. But he passed away on May 11th, 2015. Man, I can't even believe that. So I actually posted the dedication page of the book. And it's my favorite page of the book that I wish was not there. But anyway, I thought I would read that to you guys. It says, in dedication to my dad, even though we did not know it then, one of the last things you said to me was, I am always with you, and you have been and continue to be. As the years pass, my appreciation and gratitude deepen for your selflessness and sacrifices for my brother and me. Every day I strive to embody the values you've instilled in us. This book is a testament to your profound insight and critical thinking, a humble tribute and lasting memorial to honor your enduring mark on our lives. Thank you for being our dad. You are dearly missed and loved. I also dedicate this book to the cherished memory of my 3 dear friends who left us far too soon, Kevin Kelly, Dave Hebenstraight, and Jackson Rom. You are deeply loved and profoundly missed by many. Till we meet again. So anyway, that's page 4 of the book. It's the dedication page. It really is my favorite page of the book that, again, I wish was not there. But yeah, pretty interesting when our dad, oh gosh, he passed away on a Monday. I'll never forget it, actually. It was 7:51 a.m. My mom called, and man, that's the phone calls. Those are the calls you never want to get at hours that you just don't expect that phone to ring. And I remember, so my mom was supposed to go to Iran that next day. Actually, that day, she was flying out that day. And I was going to drive from Los Angeles to Orange County, pick up my mom, drive back to Los Angeles, take her to LAX, and then come back to Orange County, and then pick my dad up. And we were actually going to go down to San Diego to my brother's place. And oh man, that call came through at 7:51, and I picked up the phone, and I won't get into too much more, but it definitely was an unbelievable Monday. Like, talk about something happening that just completely changes your life. That definitely was one of those days. But anyway, I also I wanted to include my 3 friends in that dedication. My friend Kevin Kelly, who was one of my best friends growing up in Chesterland, Ohio. We went to West G together, and we were really good friends from the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. Actually, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I transferred high schools in the 10th grade, and our senior year in high school, he unfortunately got into a car accident and passed away. And so he was really the first friend of mine at a young age that I lost. And man, he's been with me my entire life. He really has, actually. It's been very interesting. He really has been with me my entire life. From that point, senior in high school on, I always think of him. I've always thought of him on, especially like big occasions, like graduating high school, graduating college, and I've always kind of like said a prayer to him. We used to call him. His nickname was Kumba, and Kumba. Some pronounce it Goomba. It's an Italian word, but I think the Kumba version is the nice meaning, where it basically is like friend. It translates to friend, or like, good friend or whatever. But yeah, his nickname was Kumba. We'd call him Coom. And I swear to this day, I'll be doing something. I'll be like, Coom, man, wish you were here, man. Wish you were here. Wish you got to experience this. But wherever you are, I know you're smiling down. So anyway, I have him in the book. And then my friend Dave Hebenstraight, who was a very close friend here in Los Angeles, he passed away in 2021. Oh, man, that one was a tough one. I don't want to go into it much, but man, I wish it didn't happen. I think you can kind of read between the lines on what happened there, but I don't even want to say it, because to this day, I don't even believe it. Like, I just feel like it was an accident. I really do. I feel like it was a self-inflicted, unfortunate accident that, for any of you that own a GUN, be very careful with those things. I don't know. It honestly is really hard. It is really hard for me to think about that, and think about that having been something that he did on purpose. It really is. But who knows? You don't know. You don't know what's going on in people's lives, and you really don't know the demons people struggle with, and the things people struggle with. And I mean, honestly, I have those. I absolutely do. I absolutely have things of my own that I really do struggle with. There's things that, and I do talk about this in the book a little bit, and it's really couched under the concept of uncomfortable truths, and it's sort of getting to the, getting to the heart of the uncomfortable truths that you have with yourself. And, I'm not going to ruin it, but like one of my uncomfortable truths is I really do have a hard time showing vulnerability. Like it's almost like I can't ever let anyone in the world think anything is bad with me and everything's got to be like amazing and all that. And I mean, that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. And, it's something I'm working on to, I guess, sometimes you got to put your guard down a little bit, and especially to those closest to you, in order to, just be authentic with them. So that's something I'm working on. And I think, when I think about Dave, I really do. Like, I just think like, man, oh, anyway, that's Dave. And then Jackson, I've talked about Jackson before, my roommate from college, my sophomore year, his junior year, fraternity brother, unfortunately had a cardiac episode on a treadmill. That one still blows my mind. I mean, I have certain thoughts on that, but I'm definitely not going to air those on this podcast. But anyway, my dedication of the book And the podcast, actually, because I remember mentioning both Jackson's name and obviously my dad's name in episode number 2, which was, kind of my first episode after doing the Republican debate episode. But the 4 of them are definitely an integral part of really what I'm trying to do, and especially moving this thing forward in terms of trying to, really be rooted in these pillars, really be rooted in by the way, good news. I did and am recording my first series of podcast interviews with people, and they're going to be people that really embody one of the 4 pillars that I've talked about. And that, again, self-awareness, resilience, authenticity, and empathy. And one of the first guests I'm going to bring on, and this is, it's going to be fascinating, but her name is Wendy Cole, and Wendy is 70 years old and is a transgender who transitioned from a man to a woman at the age of 67. So think about that. At the age of 67, he, at the time, decided, hey, I just can't do this anymore. I need to live my truth. I need to have authenticity with myself, and fully went through the transgender process. I'm talking surgery and everything. Like, this isn't just dressing up like a woman as a man, like full on surgery, went through the entire process. And it's going to be fascinating because she's so awesome in that, we had an initial conversation, and I said, hey, what's off limits with you? Like, this isn't, I'm not trying to catch you in a aha or anything like that. That's not what this is about. I said, what this is about for me is, I don't know any transgenders personally. And so I have a million questions, and some of them are like stupid, ignorant, dumb questions, but they're the questions everybody has because we don't know and we're curious. So what's off limits? Like, is there anything that is just not something you want to talk about, or is there anything that's just not appropriate? And she's like, nothing's off limits. You can ask me anything. You can get as detailed as you want, and you can get as graphic as you want. I am here to help people understand why I did this, and especially why I did this at the age of 67. And that was the part that really, fascinated me with her was, it's one thing to do gosh, like get a nose job at 67 is probably amazing. It's like, holy mackerel, you got a nose job at 67? Well, why did you put your body through that? That seems like pretty painful and pretty arduous of a process. But to literally have like sexual orientation change surgery, I don't even know if that was a word. I'll have to research what that's called. But like, to do that at 67, that's amazing to me. That really is amazing to me. And again, it's authentic AF. How about that? So that was what I originally thought was so interesting. And then, the more I talked to her, I was like, oh my God, you're just fascinating. Like you're a testament. You're an absolute testament to living your life on your terms. Like, it's your life. And she's also a testament to the concept of, you're never too old to do anything. Like, imagine that. She's 67. It's not like being 67 and picking up golf as a hobby. Like, she literally, all right, I looked it up. Gender affirming surgery, also known as sex reassignment surgery, SRS, or confirmation surgery. So sex reassignment surgery. I mean, she did that at 67. I don't know. I think that's ridiculously cool. I really do. I think it's super cool that she's living her life and she's doing what makes her happy. So anyway, that's going to be a great episode. I've also got my friend Jonathan who's gone through a heart transplant process along with, oh man, just a crazy variety of other health related things that, I mean, his resilience to me is just insane. Like, it's insane. So he's definitely going to be under the resilience pillar. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that, you know, really have unique stories that I feel like you guys could learn something from, and especially learn, you know, one of these characteristic traits, because I think they're super interesting. Okay. Oh my God. I'm at 20 minutes. That's pretty funny. I thought I was going to do this episode with just a quick little blurb at the beginning, and I just kept on yapping. By the way, just so you guys understand, I don't know if this stuff is interesting for you when I basically tell you sort of the behind the scenes, under the hood stuff, but I stopped the microphone on this one twice. I stopped it 2 times to look up something, and then another time where I think I made a mistake. But the rest has just been total free flow, like absolutely free flow. That's pretty funny. All right, everybody. That's it. I'm gonna wrap it today. I'm just gonna leave it at this. This will be a real talk episode. Have a great day. Let's have a great week. We'll get into some good stuff. Call a spade a spade.
The ending was terrific.
This episode was brought to you by the new book Deep Shallow Dive Into You, available now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in hardcover and paperback. Don't forget to sign up for our new mailing list on our website at deepshallowdive.com. I'm not saying the bro wrote a book part. That's really not that funny.